There's one thing I've yet to see anyone cover, and that is how terrible of a father Greg Universe is. Let's be honest, he's not a good dad. For several reasons. Of course, to the untrained eye, Greg comes off as a wholesome father, but if you look beyond his deep love and admiration for his son, you can see the telltale signs of a neglectful father who in real-life scenarios would have been reported to Child Protective Services, having his son taken away from him and out of his custody. For crying out loud, even Bruce Wayne has done a better job at raising both his wards of the state, Dick Grayson and Timothy Drake. For one, he made sure they both had the best education his money could offer. Given the fact that Bruce was also training Dick and Tim in the martial arts to join him in his fight against crime in Gotham City, the fact that Stephen's true purpose is to help defend the Earth from homeworld gems is no reason or explanation for him to not have an education. And given the fact that Greg has relatively as much money as Bruce, he can absolutely afford to provide his son a private tutor to give him a decent education. That's terrible daddy bit number one. The second point is, Greg is clearly a cheapskate. If he wasn't, he would have bought himself a nice, modest apartment or housing complex in Beach City, which would have provided him and his son a nice place to stay when he's not with his surrogate parents, the Crystal Gems. Instead, he chooses to hold up just outside of the Crystal Gems beach house, living in his van. A van. Again, here's a man who has enough money to build a nice condo nearby the place where the Crystal Gems are staying with his son. His cheapness puts Mr. Krabs to shame. And Mr. Krabs is a father who ruined his daughter's birthday because of how cheap he was. This is a man who gave his daughter Pearl dead batteries for Christmas. Seriously, what does it take for you to be worse than a jerk-off that'll do that to his daughter? Also, side note, Pearl from SpongeBob SquarePants and Pearl from Steven Universe are the same characters. Illuminati confirmed. Hova! He also constantly allows his 14-year-old son to be placed in harm's way. Granted, he's not as bad as Dr. Venture in that regard, but at least Dr. Venture has set certain conditions in place for if his sons do in fact die, they'll be replaced with a clone that has their memories, all leading up to when they were killed off. If Steven dies, he's dead. For good. Greg's neglectful parenting has led to others being neglectful by proxy. Unbeknownst to them, Connie's parents, if they knew exactly what she was up to, would never let their daughter run around with Steven, fusing with him and defending him, serving as his bodyguard. Of course, some might say that there are worse fathers in cartoons, like Peter Griffin and Homer Simpson, but these are animated shows meant for adults, so they're an exaggeration of the patriarch. For a show that is geared towards children, Greg is the clandestine equivalent of both Homer and Peter combined. I encourage everyone that watches Steven Universe to take a deeper look at Greg Universe, place him in the real world, and ask yourself, is this type of guy a good father figure? If you were 14 years old, running around with 3 women, fighting beings you have no idea of their intentions, with the lack of scholastic education, would you perceive yourself as having good parents? First off, you'd be your own mom, and your dad can't seem to tan well or wear adult-appropriate clothing. Greg Universe, you're one terrible father. I hope your son dies to teach you a lesson in proper parenting, and to bring back rose quartz. That's the only way. Thanks for watching, guys. I'd love to know your thoughts on Greg's parenting skills. Do you agree he's not a good parent? If you don't agree, what makes him a good parent then? And don't say love. It takes more than love to properly raise a kid. Trust me, I know. I was a kid once. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe for more, and until next time, I will see you in the next one, friends.